Hi, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs. I had an exciting message the other day. It was to pick up more fabric. One of my favourite suppliers of upholstery fabric messaged me. We were actually on the way to that town as he messaged and said he had some fabric for me. So I'm going to show you what I've got. This is a company or business that reupholsters old furniture. And since I'm still not able to sew, I'm going to show you all of these fabrics that I've received. It's been 3.5 weeks since the surgery. I've got 2.5 weeks to go before the sling hopefully comes off and then I can start doing things. But I'm hoping that next week I might actually be able to do a little bit of sewing or maybe a little bit of a dance. I don't know yet. Anyway, let's have a look at these fabrics. There's some really beautiful prints. And at the end, I'll explain to you guys once again how I go about sourcing free fabric. Everything that I've got here is upholstery fabric or furnishing fabric, and most of them are sample swatch cards. This one here is kind of like a suede feel to it, but it's not that creepy feel. It's really nice. Of course, I'm going to save the best for last, so I'm going to show you some of what I've got here, but the best prints I'll keep till the end. You wait till you see it. Absolutely beautiful. This one here, these are quite wide prints too, so they're going to be really great in bags. A lot of people think, well, what are you going to do with all these sample swatches? They're only tiny pieces. I actually put them back together again, so I've got plenty of videos where I'll put this piece and this piece together and make a multicoloured bag out of it. I do mostly boxed bags and toiletry bags. So this is a linen feel, and then on the back you usually get a great big sample piece as well, so that's double the width, and they're great for bag liners when the fabric is a little bit lighter weight. This is a really nice one. This is the large print, so they usually provide a large sample of the fabric that they have on their swatches, and these are the colours in there. So they're really pretty colours. I love these prints. These are going to go fantastic together in some bags. I'm looking forward to using those. I always get excited about these fabrics. These ones here, and then they've got accompanying plains to go with it. This one here's a nice one. There's some really nice vibrant colours. That black's nice. I've had quite a few shopping bags made in fabric similar to this. I like the oranges too. I love stripes. I've always loved stripes. With the swatch boards that I get, the company that I get these from usually just throw all of their scraps into a box. So they'll throw scrap pieces like this just into a box in the corner, and that's where I go to pick up the fabrics. Now these pieces here, you might think there's not much value in them at all, but they make really good puppy poo pouches. So anything that's about 4 inches wide is fantastic for doing puppy poo pouches. And it's also a great contrast when you've got the printed fabrics as well. These printed fabrics here are fantastic with those solid colours. Look at that. That is really nice. And then there's even more colours on the back there. That is a really nice design. That's another nice one. I love all these retro colours and designs. They're really in at the moment. And here are some more just offcuts. This is a really nice yellow one. I've got a couple of decent sized pieces of this yellow fabric. It's just a really nice shade of yellow. Probably not very good in this light here. Some big sample pieces of a velour type fabric. I don't enjoy touching that stuff, but I'll use it up. They'll go great in toiletry bags. This one here is a popular pattern. I'm sure that my in-laws had this design on all of their Italian furniture back in the 90s. Good solid fabric, very nice to do toiletry bags with. And these are some of the smaller strips that I was telling you about. If I can get about 4 inches out of a fabric, then I'll use that to make my puppy poo pouches. Anything narrower than that, I'll keep those strips to use as bag handles because they're really handy for that kind of thing. You can wrap it with fabric. So I'll do a video showing you how to do that one day soon. And I've even got a fair bit of this strapping fabric which they use on the inside of their furniture. So I think this is the webbing, the seat webbing that they use. This will be great in bag handles as well. This is a nice sample of rawhide. So it's got like a suede feel to it, or a leathery suede feel to it. Quite nice sizes as well. So I've got double the length there. They'll make really nice bags and wallets. And they're not too heavy a weight that I can't sew them either. I'm coming up to the really good stuff. There's some more plains. When I first used to get upholstery fabric, I always thought that the plains were a little bit boring. And on their own they are, but a lot of people actually seem to like the plain coloured fabric better than they do the printed. There's some nice textured plains or solids and some stripes. There's not too many, but I do love working with these. These have a kind of nice beachy feel to it. And more velour type fabric, they will make good jewellery bags. All right, I'm going to show you the more exciting prints now. This is an amazing piece of fabric. It's a couple of metres wide. It's probably about 2 metres by 2 metres in width. And it's been beautifully joined back together again. So you can't actually see the seam or the pattern where it's joined. They've done it that well. This is going to make something really pretty. I'll have to give that a good thought. It's nice to get some good big pieces of fabric out of these samples. These great big books, they've got some great prints in them. You've seen me make out of vinyl some little vinyl card wallets. These ones will be great for the same thing because they're just pre-cut strips of fabric, and they'll turn into really nice, very quick sews for these little wallets. And the bigger pieces end up going into bigger bags. I've had a blowout. This one here is a really nice, elegant range. Just beautiful prints. Look at that. The weight of the fabric is good for curtaining if you're going to be doing rubber back curtains, but these make really great cushion covers and are really nice upholstery fabrics as well. So they'll be fantastic in some bags. These ones are getting a bit heavy. So again, smaller pieces, but I do like putting these smaller pieces back together again. Even just these tiny little pieces here, they're great. Put them in with a solid and then a couple of the bigger pieces. That's nice. Love the citrus. There's so much to work with in here. Look at that. Oh, very nice prints. The only thing having fabric this small is that there are quite big pieces of paper on the back of them. They can be a little bit challenging to get off, but as long as I get most of it off, all my bags are lined. I don't stress too much if I can't get all of the paper off. The lining hides any of it. This fabric is heavy enough that you don't notice the paper still behind it. I also keep these handles as well because they make great pipings or even handles for other bags. I try to keep as much hardware as I can from these samples. This one here looks a little bit old-fashioned, similar to that fabric I showed you before that I thought was from the 90s. I've sold quite a lot of bags in fabric designs like this. People do like buying them. So they're nice designs, and these make up great toiletry bags. Okay, I'm up to the last sample book, and these prints are absolutely amazing. Huge size. Look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous print? And there's so many different designs. This book comes in different colourways, so it's probably got about 8 different colourways. And then you've got a few different designs. You've got pineapples in there. The bird of paradise. That's a beautiful print. Butterflies and palms. And then and then you've got some flowers. I don't know what kind. So you can see the different colourway now. So these prints are going to repeat themselves now, and you'll see the different shades with the same kind of print. These, there's a monkey in there. I love the bird of paradise. I'm going to be making some big cushions with these fabrics and possibly even some bags as well. They are absolutely gorgeous. I saw this first and I was just so excited when the guy gave it to me, and I've been dying to do something with this fabric. So stay tuned, something's coming soon. I've presented several videos to you previously on the free fabric haul that I get. And I have done a video on how to source your own fabric, but I'm always asked how I get these fabrics. When I first started getting fabric, I had a company that used to come to me and give me tiny little squares of fabric, and I would make lavender sachets, or I would put them back together again and make small zippered pouches. Most of them were plain, uninspiring colours, but I was selling a lot of product. Then I started to get more and more from this company, especially in prints and bigger pieces, and it made me start looking around to see where I could get fabric. So what I do is what I've done is gone to furniture companies or companies that sell ready-made furniture, and they usually have these swatch cards around the store showing you what colours you can get your furniture in. So these sample boards are around the stores, and what you can do is ask the people that work there what they do with their old swatches, with their obsolete swatches, and let them know what you want to do with the fabric and see if they'll give you their samples when they've finished with them. Some companies aren't interested, but if you go and see them a couple of times and just remind them, they might actually think, okay, the fabric is better off in your hands than at the tip. But what you can also do with these fabrics is look at the labels on the back of the fabric. Quite often on the back there's a label there telling you who the company is. I mean, you can see on this one who the company is anyway, but you can do a Google search for them and find out what their contact details are. Give them a call, send them an email, or if they're close enough, drop in and visit them. These ones here I get from somebody that actually restores furniture. This couple also have the sample fabrics on display in their showroom, and customers just pick what they want, and then when these fabrics are obsolete, they get rid of them, they put them in a box for me. If you go around and visit small businesses like that furnish fabric themselves, curtain manufacturers, furniture restorers, have a talk to them, tell them that you're trying to rescue all this fabric from going to landfill, and that you're happy to come and pick it up whenever they've got samples and offcuts to get rid of. A lot of them are really happy to give that fabric to you. It may take a while. When I contacted this company the first time, I drove past a few times because I was too scared to go in there for fear of rejection. And I finally went in there, had a talk to him, and told him what I wanted to do. I showed samples of what I do with my fabric. And when I left, I thought that I wasn't going to be successful at all. But he took my card, but then he did call me a couple of months later. So people may not necessarily have fabric for you straight away. So don't be too disheartened if they say no to you. But do try and remind, especially the bigger companies, do try and remind them that you're around, that you're looking for this fabric, that you want to save it from landfill. And the smaller companies, hopefully they'll remember that you were looking for it and will contact you. So it doesn't happen overnight, but most of the time it does happen. I hope you've enjoyed this video and are as excited about all of these new fabrics as I am. I can't wait to start sewing them, especially that big book of swatches. I shall catch you next time. Bye for now.